This is WVIT, New Britain, Connecticut.
Bob Newmeyer with Larry Plow back in Springfield and a 1-0 Whaler lead.
The key play on that goal by George Lyle was, as I mentioned before, the goaltender was trying to get the forward to commit himself first. Here, George made the move and got Joe Daly commit himself, and he shot it right between Daly's legs.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is New England Whaler hockey.
Invasion of the Rats, Monday at 4. And now we return to Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. You've been watching Cinema 30's presentation of The Birds. Next week at this time, we'll present the premiere of the Cinema 30 Club series of movies. The first film is titled Fire Creek, starring Henry Fonda and James Stewart, one of the few films in which they appeared together. Until then, good night and have a good week.
Newhart Show, weekdays at 5:30 on 30.
You're watching WVIT, Connecticut's NBC station, New Britain, Hartford, Waterbury, New Haven.
Catch 30 WVIT.
30 News, an hour's news in half the time, with Joanne Nesty. Sports Director Mike Crispino. And meteorologist Brad Field with his exclusive forecast. Now live, 30 News.
Good evening. Fresh from a victory over pornography in one Connecticut town.
30 News Digest, brought to you by Volkswagen.
Catch the Whalers and the Canadiens, Saturday night at 8 on 30. Broadcasting Incorporated. WVIT operates in the frequencies between 566 and 572 megahertz. W59AA operates in the frequencies between 740 and 746 megahertz, as authorized by the Federal Communications Commission. WVIT studios and offices are located at 1422 New Britain Avenue, West Hartford, Connecticut. Transmitting facilities for WVIT are on Rattlesnake Mountain in Farmington. Translator facilities for W59AA are located in West Haven. All of today's programs were intended primarily for home reception. Any other use may not be made without permission of Viacom Broadcasting Incorporated.
You're watching Connecticut's NBC station, WVIT 30.
Toby Moffat, beginning in November in WVIT, Connecticut's NBC station. You're watching Connecticut's NBC station, WVIT 30, New Britain, Hartford.
Feeling good about the place you live, and we're sharing the feeling with you. Looking at life and all it's got to give. Glad we're seeing it clear. It's great to be here. Connecticut's NBC station, WVIT. TV 30, WVIT.
You're watching WVIT. It's 29 degrees.
Start your weekday mornings at 6:30, right here on WVIT 30, Connecticut's NBC station.
It's the Red Sox and the White Sox, Wednesday at 8 on WVIT. Weeknights at 7:30 on WVIT. Hollywood Squares, weekdays at 4 on WVIT 30.
I find you guilty of the charge of prostitution.
The Judge, weekdays at 4:30.
Tomorrow night at 7, only on WVIT 30.
Thursday.
The Cosby Show, weekdays at 5, only on WVIT 30.
Now, live from WVIT Channel 30. Ann Baldwin, Ross Joel, Tony Terzi on sports, and meteorologist Scott Dorval. With Connecticut News at 6. From WVIT Channel 30, this is Connecticut News at 11 with Joanne Nesty, Van Hackett, Brad Field with the weather, and Beasley Reese on sports.
Express written permission of WVIT Incorporated. Connecticut News 30, voted best newscast by the Associated Press.
Tomorrow at 7:30, following a current affair on WVIT.
You're watching WVIT, Connecticut's NBC station. Now, Connecticut News 30 at 6. Now, Connecticut News 30 at 6.
She was... For information you can trust, turn to Connecticut News 30 first. The only Connecticut news organization with our own reporter live in New Hampshire as the race for the Republican presidential nomination heats up. First, with the breaking news of an accident that brought traffic to a halt on I-84. The station with exclusive details about the accused mailman killer. And when students in Bristol were forced from their school, once again, Connecticut News 30 was on the air first. Connecticut News 30, live, local, and late-breaking coverage that more people trust.
Hi, I'm Don Lark. Tonight on Connecticut News 30, 11 at 11, they're actors by day, married by night. Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen team up in Gulliver's Travels. Tonight you'll hear why she thinks he's so perfect for tonight's movie role. A Hartford restaurant runs into a surprise tonight as workers prepare to serve the last meal. And are you ready for tomorrow morning's cold weather surprise? You won't want to send the kids off to school until you hear Art Horn's guaranteed forecast. Join us for the late details tonight on Connecticut News 30, 11 at 11.
Cure, tonight on Connecticut News 30, 11 at 11.
ER, all new NBC Thursday.
Tonight on 30 at 11, Avon police investigating a serious car crash will have late details.
Also tonight, new information in the case of alleged police brutality in Hartford. Warrants are out on the 3 officers involved in the case.
And we'll take you behind the scenes of Seinfeld.
Join us tonight for Connecticut News 30, 11 at 11, 11 uninterrupted minutes of news, weather, and sports.
You're watching NBC.
All new family comedy, NBC Sunday. Premiere Sunday, 3 days away on NBC.
Tonight on Connecticut News 30, 11 at 11.
They're products we all use every day, but a new study out says that these common household products could actually kill you. We'll expose the dirty dozen tonight. These Connecticut kids aren't just playing around, they're learning how not to become couch potatoes. What can your kids do? It's tonight's medical report. And we'll take you to a friends party at an area club as Connecticut welcomes back their favorite TV friends with tonight's season premiere.
Tonight on Connecticut News 30, 11 at 11. 11 uninterrupted minutes of news, weather, and sports.
Jurassic Park will return in a moment on NBC.
Connecticut News 30, your source for live, local, late-breaking news coverage. Live from NBC 30, your source for live, local, late-breaking news. This is Connecticut News Today at 9 a.m. Live from NBC 30, your source for live, local, late-breaking news. This is Connecticut News at 11.
NBC 30 Connecticut News, your source for live, local, late-breaking news coverage. Live from NBC 30, Connecticut's live, local, late-breaking news leader. This is NBC 30 Connecticut News Today at 5 a.m. This is NBC 30 Connecticut News, live, local, late-breaking, covering Hartford, New Haven, New London, and your hometown. You're watching NBC 30 Connecticut News, always live, local, late-breaking. This is an NBC 30 Connecticut News special presentation, The Rowland Resignation. From Connecticut's news leader, this is NBC 30 News Today at 6 a.m. Welcome to Connecticut Newsmakers with Tom Monahan. Your weekly look at the people, issues, and events shaping our state. Starts now on NBC 30 News, Connecticut's news leader. From Connecticut's news leaders, NBC 30 News at 5 starts now. You're watching NBC 30, Connecticut's news leader.
From Connecticut's news leader, this is NBC Connecticut Today at 11. Connecticut's only local news in high definition.
NBC Connecticut, covering New Haven and the shoreline.
This is NBC Connecticut Today at 6.
This is NBC Connecticut News at 11.
This is NBC Connecticut News at 6.
Breaking news like First Alert Weather, like NBC Connecticut on Facebook today.
Watch NBC Connecticut News at 4 every weekday.
Hi, I'm Ellen with a special report. Well, they have a special report.
Ellen is now at 3 p.m.
So watch my show.
Followed by NBC Connecticut News at 4.
And we'll see you then.
Every weekday, right here. Computer.
This is NBC Connecticut Today at 5.
This is NBC Connecticut News at 4.
This is NBC Connecticut News at 6. This is NBC Connecticut Today at 4:30.
Cross your fingers.
This is NBC Connecticut News at 5.
This is NBC Connecticut News at 11.
This is NBC Connecticut News.
This is NBC Connecticut Today at 4:30.
Right now on NBC Connecticut Today at 4:30.
This is NBC Connecticut Today at 5. Right. This is NBC Connecticut News at 11.
NBC News.
This is NBC Connecticut News at 5:30.
Now at 5.
This is NBC Connecticut News at 11. This is NBC Connecticut News.